Good morning. It is Thursday, March 27th, 2025. Back here for another daily shakeup. And as always, back here to share a perspective, or maybe a lesson, or maybe just a different way of being or heightened awareness around our leadership. And as I've shared before, if there's something in here that you like or dislike or don't agree with, love to hear your comments. Put a like, put a comment, and of course, share it with others. That's the idea, to share the ideas around to enhance leadership everywhere. So you're probably wondering, why is there a little kid here sitting there in a business suit? Well, the reason is because this is an all too real experience in our world when it comes to leadership. People who are adults biologically or according to their driver's license, but they're showing up in their leadership as children. There are so many times, and I wish it was irregular and infrequent, but it is pretty constant, where someone will do something or someone will tell me a story or I'll experience something myself. And my response is something like, "What are you, 12 years old? Or maybe 4 years old?" You see, the reality is that we do make decisions emotionally. People say they don't, but the fact is that is predominantly how we make decisions. We make them emotionally. That's not the problem. The problem is because when we make decisions emotionally, we have some discernment, some intellect that goes with it, hopefully. The problem is that we often react emotionally. And in that reaction moment, and that moment may not be just literally a moment, but hours or days, we are frankly behaving as a child. And it's a reality. We are behaving like a child because what happens in that moment is something inside our brain triggers us back to childhood where we had experiences that caused us to feel the way we're feeling right now. So, in other words, as an adult, whether you're 25, 45, 65, something happens and you have an experience that connects you to a childhood experience and you give a childlike reaction, but in a grown-up version of it. There's so many ways that shows up, but you know what I'm talking about. So I want you to think about two things. When was the last time, probably recently, someone in your life or in your team or in your business or maybe in the world that you experienced reacted in a way that you felt, boy, that feels like a child's reaction? Or maybe my reaction. What are you, 12 years old or 6 years old? So think about when those have happened, but more importantly, because I don't control others, think about where and when have you shown up that way? It's a reality for all of us because it's a knee-jerk reaction in that moment. That's what it is, an emotional reaction. But the more aware we can become to those reactions, the more we can slow things down and be present in the moment, and also have the awareness that this can happen, that we can get triggered so we can catch ourselves before we act out based upon what's going on inside. Because the inside is what drives the external behavior, but it's the external behavior that causes the problems. And the more that we can slow things down, you've heard me talk before about the leader pause or the leadership pause, that allows us to experience the emotions and then consciously choose not to react with those emotions. So the emotions happen inside, but we don't exert them outside, typically at and on to others. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, like it, share it, comment, and have a fantastic rest of your day.